Taylor Swift, Stagey and Fake. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I've explained elsewhere why Taylor Swift is a narcissist and the fact that she is an aware one. She operates an excellent facade. It remains intact virtually all of the time. Just recently, it has been exhibited once again as a consequence of her playing during a heat wave in Rio de Janeiro and ensuring that water is passed to people in the audience that need it. Furthermore, she expressed condolences and concern as a consequence of the fan that died on the eve of one of her shows. Her cognitive empathy functions very well, understanding what it needs to show and do in order to maintain that facade of being a decent individual. She manages that facade very effectively, but I had seen through it as a consequence of the examination of the material, and there's somebody else that's come along with a threat to control, suggesting that she's stagey and fake. Jack Bezantz in the Daily Mail writes, Travis Kelce warned about stagey and fake Taylor Swift by Skip Bayless, who claims their kiss after her era show in Argentina was exaggerated. Undisputed host Skip Bayless has waded into Travis Kelce's whirlwind romance with Taylor Swift, questioning how genuine the pop star's feelings are for the Super Bowl winner. As Swift sings herself, I have a long list of ex-lovers, which of course is in the song Blank Space, which is her basically laughing at people by demonstrating to you in clear view of what she is, whilst people think, oh, it's just song lyrics. Indeed, a certain supposed expert about narcissism, Dr. Plagiarizer, wrote about how one of her songs was all about being the victim, etc., failing to notice that it was actually being written by a narcissist about being a narcissist, and completely failed to notice that that was the case. Not the first time that she's been taken in by a narcissist, that you'd think that she'd be able to recognise them, wouldn't you, given that she's such a supposed expert. Anyway, putting that to one side, Taylor Swift does have a long list of paramours, love interests, whatever you'd like to call them. Such a long list, and the manner in which she talks about them, both being indicators as to her narcissism. She's on to another individual, the footballer, Travis Kelce, who finds himself swept up in the love bombing, described as a whirlwind romance. Once again, people not recognising what it actually is. The couple's whirlwind romance is expected to take a serious turn on Monday, with both sets of parents meeting as Kelce's Kansas City Chiefs plays his brother's Jason's Philadelphia Eagles, the team Swift and her dad Scott support. Last weekend, Kelce travelled to Argentina on his bye week to see Swift perform in Buenos Aires, and she was seen running up to him and kissing him after the show in a scene most people found heartwarming, which of course is what it's specifically designed to do. The management of the facade for the purposes of drawing praise, which is fuel. But Bayless isn't buying it, and mapped out his reasons why this week in no uncertain terms. I sincerely hope her relationship with Travis Kelce is real, for both their sakes, but especially for his, he said. I believe from a distance that his feelings for her are very real. But hers, for him, I've no idea. How can you know? How can you even be sure? She's such a megastar. Obviously she's extremely image conscious. She's just painfully camera aware, and so she's always in danger in her life of acting a part when she knows she's on camera. Well, indeed, and of course, as part of her aware narcissism, she knows precisely what's required of her in order to get the best returns with regard to the issue of control, fuel, character traits, and residual benefits. Bayless continued by explaining she knows she's on camera every single second she's up in a stadium box watching her Travis do what he does best, which is play football. I'm sorry, but when she's up in the box, she comes off as stagey and fake to me. I just don't buy it. And as for the scenes in Argentina, Bayliss said Travis on his bye week flew down. She obviously knew she was on camera. You see her running towards Travis, all but jumping in his arms, embracing him, giving a big exaggerated kiss. It just seems a little scripted to me, just a little put on, just a little fake. I could be wrong, but is she using this all-time fairy tale romance to plug into NFL-sized publicity and promotion? I hope not, but I do wonder. Well, you're right. It is staged because it's not genuine. It's the manifestation of a benign means of controlling Travis Kelce and, of course, the audience that are watching all of this play out. It's part of her facade management of being this kind and loving woman who has just had the misfortune of having various selfish ex-lovers who have hurt her. And someone who is not only talented with regard to her songwriting but excellent at marketing herself knows full well that having a romance with an NFL star enables her to plug into similar publicity and promotion, which of course is a residual benefit. Bayliss is far from the only person to question whether the relationship is a publicity stunt, but if there is anyone who doesn't need extra attention, it's probably Swift. Well, of course, that demonstrates the failure to understand a narcissist. There can never be enough fuel. She cheered Travis on at 4 different games from September through to October before going back out on her massively successful Eras tour in South America. This weekend, Swift is playing 3 dates in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The last is on Sunday, and the next weekend she plays in Sao Paulo. Whilst it would involve a lot of flying, she could technically fly back for Monday's game. Skip Bayliss identifies the artificiality of the behaviour. He doesn't necessarily see that it's the behaviour of a narcissist, but recognises that it's staged and manufactured. He, of course, is hedging his bets somewhat, but ultimately in private would say he definitely thinks it's all a publicity stunt and it's all for the purposes of being staged. He sees it and comments accordingly. But is it the case that others recognise it for what it is? Do they realise that this is an individual who, with extreme competence, is able to generate a facade to show to the rest of the world, which enables her to assert control over people, draw fuel from them, and so forth? What do you think? Do you think it's correct that she's a narcissist and this is all part of the pursuit of the prime aims, or do you disagree? She has many fans. Are you amongst them? But do you see her for what she is? Or do you think that she is something else indeed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.